Hi everybody, it's Judy here at River City Sewing, bringing you this week's video news. Well, first up we've got classes as we normally would, and this week we've got still some vacancies Monday morning, Monday afternoon. We have our FAF foot class coming up on Thursday, and there's still a few spots left. So 7's left we have in the calendar, so if you haven't booked yet, you need to get in there and book as quickly as you can, so that you can join us for a fun morning with lots of interesting accessories and feet and all those kinds of things. So come along and book yourself in for that one. So that's the FAF foot class that's coming up on this coming Thursday. I've got a couple of classes coming up which are very interesting for you. These are new classes again for 2023. The first one's going to come up on the 14th of March, and that one is So Kind of Wonderful. Now, So Kind of Wonderful have been around for a little while. They've got quite a few quick curve ruler, there's a mini curve, there's a few other different rulers that they've brought out, and they've made some really interesting patterns that you can do with the rulers. Now, in the I'll give you a look at what I've got on the website. So you can go and use any one of their patterns in this class. And as you can see here, this is the type. This is one type of So Kind of Wonderful pattern. And down here you'll see the ruler that it uses. So they're all color coded. So this is the quick curve ruler. So as you can see that it does some circles, all those kinds of things, those curvy shapes. With some of the other rulers that they have, oops, did I go too far? Yes, I did. This one uses the quick straight ruler. So again, they're all color coded. So in this class, if you have seen or have got or would like to try a different type of ruler and pattern that you can make multiple quilts with, then these So Kind of Wonderful classes, you can pick a pattern, pick and make the corresponding ruler, and you can do those in the class so that you get a little bit of help. Now the beauty of these rulers are that they do have a multitude of different patterns that you can use with them. They come with a basic how to use the ruler pattern inside, but what they've done is expanded on some of the things that you can do with different quilt designs and things like that. So they're very interesting designs, they're very different designs, and like we said, there's 3 different types of rulers. Okay, so you can take your pick of which one you'd like to use, then come in, pick your ruler, pick your pattern, and then either sort from your stash or come and help. The girls and guys here will be able to help you pick all the fabric that you need to do your next project with So Kind of Wonderful. Now, the reason we've done these particular patterns is because they have been around for a while. We have been selling them for a long time. We've got all the updated rulers, like the quick straight, quick curve, and all those all the different types of rulers, so that it gives you a little bit of variety. And knowing that the patterns have been well described and well made and well thought out, and I've seen the original quilts in some of these, and they are absolutely beautiful. So if you have a challenge for yourself to try something new this year and you haven't done any of the So Kind of Wonderful patterns, then why not come into that class? It's once a month, it runs for 3 months. You can come 1 month or you can come all 3, it's up to you. You just book yourself in for those, and they are called So Kind of Wonderful on our booking page. Now with Margot's class coming up, her first one, the Taste of Walking Foot Quilting, there are only 2 spots left in there. So if you had been thinking about it, you need to book yourself in pretty quickly. That's coming up next week, and so that you'll make sure that you, if you're going to book in, just have a look at all your requirements. But it's the only one that will do that. That particular class is the only time that'll run this year. So if you've been thinking about it, let's get you booked in for that. So 2 spots left. Let's get yourself booked in. Don't miss out on that one. Now interesting thing, oh sorry, and I didn't mention Thursday evening, there are still a few spots available in there as well with Ali, so you can book yourself in for that. Anything patchwork or quilting in that class you'd like to bring along, so next Thursday evening. So today I've got some other product that I'd like to show you. A lot of this was stuff that I saw in Houston and brought back and was waiting for the right time to show you. Now we're into the new year. It's a good time to bring this all up to date for you. So the first one we have is, for those of you who do make your own quilt bindings, but you cut it a little bit smaller, this binding, it's called a third hand binding folder clip, and I'm just going to change camera so that you can see. So the idea of this is when you cut your binding, it's for 2 1/4 inch fabric strips. So I know some of you cut it a little bit narrower, 2 1/4. But what this does, and let me take it out of the box, it attaches to your ironing board, and it looks a little bit like ET or one of those little guys. And basically it helps you run that binding through while it's been attached to your ironing board. So if you have a look at the picture, well, let me see, where am I going with the camera? Okay, so it attaches to the side of your ironing board. You don't have to hold it. All you need is to pull through your binding, so you can hold the iron and pull the fabric through at the same time, which is always a challenge, right? So as you can see in here, the binding would go through this little contraption here. They've all been digitally printed, like with the 3D printers. So the idea is this goes through, this attaches to your ironing board, you pull your fabric through, and you've got your iron happening at the same time. So this is for a 2 1/4 inch piece of binding. Pretty natty idea, I thought. And there's a little video with a QR code that you can do, but you can see how it attaches to the ironing board. Sorry if I'm moving a little bit, but I'm just trying to find the right position. So all different sizes so that you can get on the ironing board there. So interesting how that little gadget can make your life easier. So so if you're using leftover jelly roll, you'll need to cut them down to do the binding, but it does that fold for you as you're pulling through, so you're not having to, you know, eyeball it all the way through doing the binding, but that will make your life a little bit easier. So that is what they call it, the third hand binding folder clip, and there'll be a link in this for our website. Comes in purple and purple. Okay, so there you go, purple, purple. And they're available here, right here at River City Sewing. So the third hand binding folder clip, and like I said, I'll put some links in the video, but this one is quite, if you all struggle with ironing and bindings, that's going to be a great product for you. So the next one I've got is for those people who have long arms of all different types out there. Sometimes getting pins to go through and pin your lead items onto your leaders, you need a different size pin because of the strength. Sometimes if you use a regular pin, you're going to bend it. We have some corsage pins that we have here from Gamble, but these are a new type from Taylor Seville, and they're long arm quilting pins. They're 2 3/8 inches or 60 mil. They're 0.8 of a millimetre thick, so they're a bit thicker than normal pins. But the idea is that they've got a little squidgy comfort grip handle, they call them, so that it forms the end of the pin so that you can get them in. They're heat resistant, so if you're doing something with a little bit heavier fabric and you need stronger pins, this could also work as well. This is the packaging of what it looks like. There's 50 pins in the container that it comes with, and they're all, you know, it's got its own little container there, but you'll see that they are a little bit thicker than normal, but they do have the blue comfort grip on the top. So all different types of long arms. You know, if you've got a handy quilter, Benina, you know, Janome or whatever long arm you have and you're having trouble with pins, we can help you with these. If you want to use them for, you know, if you've got ironing to do as well with thicker fabrics or, you know, really heavy fabrics, you can use them with those. But as you can see, there's one out of the box there to give you an idea of the length and the size of the pin. So it's quite heavy. Now they are $35.95 for 50 pins. But I think they're good value for anyone who has been ruining their pins on their leaders, who would like to be able to use them dual purpose for other projects that need ironing as well. So they're the magic pins. So they're available here at River City Sewing and online and on the website and in store. So if you are looking at something like those, why not give the team a call or order them online. The next one I wanted to show you is some journals which I bought in Houston. These have quilt blocks embossed on the front of them, and they're called Built Quilt. They are just a regular journal, but they're like got a leather binding, and they come in a couple of colours. So I'll show you these. So this is the Built Quilt. This is one of them, and this one's they're both $34.95, or you get the geranium pattern on the front. They take just a regular a pen or a pencil or whatever you like in the little elastic that's been put in on the side, but it's just a journal. You can create your blocks, you can write your notes. It could be a great present for someone, and the actual packaging with the little wrap that comes with it has got some quilt blocks here on the back of it. So there's a couple of different sizes in these. There's a smaller pocket size one, which is about half the length of this, and we've got a couple of those in stock as well. So if you just Google, if you go into our website and put journal, you'll see a couple of them come up there. But this one here is the weather vane, I think they call it. The weather vane, because that's the block type that it's been named from. And this one is geranium. So they're just different colours. Same insides, everything like that. It's just been different leather covers on the outside, or pleather covers on the outside. And but yeah, they're nice. It's a leather. It doesn't fit. It's like a pleather. It's more than a leather. But it feels really nice on your hands. It's a great little journal. And, you know, a nice gift for someone. $34.95. I guess they're a little bit different to some that you see around in Officeworks and those kinds of things, because it is more quilty related. So there's Built Quilt. So this company do a couple of different decorative functional sort of items, and journals are one of them. So why not check those out on our website or in store, and have a look at the smaller ones as well. They're quite cute. So they're your journals. Now the next thing I wanted to show you what we brought back was some iron cleaner. Now this particular one, I'm going to change camera so you get a better look. This is a new one called Magic. It's an iron cleaner. It's non-flammable. It's safe for most irons. It removes a lot of residue from, you know, your fusibles and all that kind of stuff. The only thing with this one, you have to make sure, if you've got to read all your instructions on the back, but it removes a lot of the fusible fusible webs and fusibles and iron-on interfacings and trims and all those kinds of things, or if you've got synthetics that are burnt on your iron. But you've got to use it with a hot iron. You can't use it with a cold iron. But if you follow these instructions on the back, you'll be pretty good. They've got a big range of products in their line, but the iron cleaner is the only one we can bring into Australia because, you know, of all the chemicals and things. This one is non-flammable. You know, they've got a really interesting story with these people, but, you know, just with any cleaner or any sort of chemical cleaner like this is, Basically, you just have to really read your instructions and follow them to the letter, and that'll give you the best result for your iron. So that's iron cleaner. They're $13.95. They're available now here at River City Sewing. So if your iron's looking a bit manky after doing some appliques, or you've burned stuff onto your iron, why not check this out? It's a new product which we think it's really, really cool. So check that one out with us here. So that's iron cleaner. The next one I've got is a book, and we talk about panels a lot, and I know that I've been talking about that we've got books with panels. This is a book. Sorry, I just have to get the glare off it. When you're using panels, sometimes you just may want to stitch over it and make it into a wall hanging or things like that, and this book enables you to show you how that can be done just by using your sewing machine, walking feet, or your different embroidery style feet on your sewing machine, or if you've got a long arm or a sit down long arm, how you can give you some ideas with using thread colours and textures and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking at, you've got a few panels and you're not quite sure what to do with them, you don't want to make them into quilts, but you really love the panel, then this is a really great way to showcase it. So quite in depth in some of the thread painting techniques, or even just embellishing some of them if you've got some trims and things like that. It just gives you some ideas of what to do with these panels. Now this one's $43.95, and the good thing is it talks about kids panels as well, Christmas panels, using panels in a different way. So this is a really fun book to utilize some of those things up. So creating art quilts with panels, so that's pretty cool. So that's available now, and we can get some more of these. They're still in print, so if we run out, we can order them for you. That's not a problem, but I think it's a great book to use up your panels. One of the other products that I did see in Houston, which we've had something similar before, this is Heat and Bond, which is obviously great quality. This is an easy seam tape. Now, it is like the iron-on voile that we use for embroidery. So those of you, especially in my Hoop Sister class, where I've said, where you've had some accidents in the past, where you want to fix some of those elements where you've just gone a little bit too close with the rotary cutter, then this is already cut into a 1.5 inch roll. So they've just basically cut through a small roll of this, and it's all nice and easy to do. The other thing that I would use this for is, because it's like this iron-on interfacing that we use for embroidery. If you're doing names on shirts or kids' clothes and you want it to stay in and stay fused, then using this, you're not going to waste a whole heap of interfacing, cutting up, a 1.5 metre wide piece into small pieces. This little roll of the same style of interfacing is going to be great. So if you're doing shirts, or you're putting small names on for your embroideries, this is going to work really, really well. So it's this sheer interfacing that we use like iron-on voile, and you can use it to join wadding together. You can use it for all different types of things. The only thing you've got to be mindful of is that it is a synthetic, so you just have to watch your setting on your iron. It gives you all the instructions here on the back as well, so if you follow those, you should be okay. All right, so that's Heat and Bond Easy Seam Tape. Not so much for, great for seams and joining wadding and things like that, but also great for embroidery if you're doing small lettering or small linear designs, things like that. $15.95, well worth it to have in your embroidery stash. Hoop Sister people, you will, like I said, that little fix of those blocks where you cut it too close, then that might be a really good thing to have in your embroidery stash. But if nothing else, it's a great little handy thing to have to join your wadding and all those kinds of things. Okay, so that's that. That's on our website as well. One of the last items I want to, there's a couple more, but this is one of them. Now these are some rulers. They're all the same. I'll just get rid of the other two. They're from Prim, and they're called the Love Ruler. Now, it's a flexible ruler. So sometimes when we're quilting, we have these acrylic rulers that we use for our rotary cutters and all that kind of stuff. In this particular ruler, it has these white divisions and pink divisions, right? So every ½ inch, they're color coded. So these are ½ inch wide all the way through. So at a glance, you can see, instead of sort of counting and having a look at the legend here, these are ½ inch increments. The other cool thing is that this little attached, oh, sorry, I'll get my pencil. This little cutout here will show you if your seam is at 90 degrees. Don't know if you can see that. All right, so 90 degrees. You can actually mark that there. And these can tell you if your seam is coming at, you know, that 45 and is nice and even. So it's a little gadget. Like I said, it's nice to have a ruler that's a little bit flexible on some small things. You can use it with a pencil, all those kinds of things. But, you know, if you're coming in on an angle, it does make it easier to get your 45. But if you're trying to get something to make sure that you've got a 90-degree angle, there is a cutout in this ruler. Cheapest chips, $5.95. I think that's pretty good. Nice little thing to have in your stash. Sometimes even just, you know, lining up, you know, you might want to do a sew line somewhere. These are a little bit more flexible than your acrylic rulers. So all little gadgets that are great in your stash, and there's probably a few more uses for them as well. So $5.95, I thought that was a pretty good deal. That's the Love Ruler from Prim, and it's available from us here now. So one of the next products I wanted to talk to you about was the Kimber Bell binder that they brought out. It's Experience the Joy of Creativity binder. Now, they've been released and we have a couple here at the store. They're designed so that you can put all your instructions in from events, from your all the stuff that you've printed out as instructions or had printed as instructions. So they're not wasted, they go into a creative binder, and it has that Kimber Bell sort of style about it. So on our website, you'll find it, if you type in the word binder, actually creativity binder would be better, creativity binder, there we go. Then you'll see it come up and you'll see that it's quite a lovely design book. It's got all the tabs in there and it's got that Kimber Bell sort of flair to it. It's quite sturdy, it's quite a heavy binder that'll allow you to take the weight of all of that photocopy, all that printed, you know, stuff coming out of your printer, all that stuff, and it gives you a library within the book to keep it all contained. So if you're a fan of Kimber Bell and you do have a lot of those and they're sort of running around, you don't know what to do with those instructions, then this storage will make sure that it's kept well, it's kept neat and tidy, but it does have that Kimber Bell flair with it. These books are $69.90 and they're available here with us at River City Sewing, and they're available now. So if you'd like one of those, please just either come in and see us or go on the website and order it. There is a link at the, in this email that's coming with this video that you'll be able to go on and have a look for yourself. One of the announcements we wanted to make today was of the change of our trading hours. Now our trading hours are generally 9 to 5 and 9 to 4 on a Saturday. However, we've changed Wednesday to open a little bit later every Wednesday. So that's effective right now. So from next Wednesday, our store will open at 10 a.m. and close at 5. And that will continue for the rest of the year until further notice now. So if you're coming into a class, or you're coming into the store to pick something up or drop something off, or whatever you're coming to the store for, our store will open at 10 a.m. Wednesday. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And that change is so that we can do a lot of back office behind the scenes with our team, and give us them enough time to do some training, new products, all those kinds of things. So that extra hour allows us to help you a little bit better as well. So just keep that hours in mind. It is signposted, and I have put the details in the video and on our Google page, so that you'll all have access to confirm the times. But that's a little bit of a change for what we do in 2023. So from Judi and all the team, thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you in store really, really soon, and looking forward to bringing you some interesting and updates on classes and more products next week in our broadcast. So from all of us here, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.